Homestead-Miami Speedway is arguably one of the best mile-and-a-half tracks today, if not the best one. Always puts on great racing in the NASCAR Cup Series with the multi-grooves thanks to the progressive banking, and now that the track surface itself is quite old, the tires wear out pretty quickly, which provides good tire wear and good racing as well. It's no secret that the oval was reconfigured in 2003 to add the high banking away from a pancake flat track that it was before that. But what is not as widely known is when the oval was reconfigured in 2003, it was actually the second time it had been reconfigured. I talked about this recently when I did my casual review of kart precision racing, but it popped into my mind again watching the NASCAR race here at Homestead this past Sunday. Mike Joy mentioned that Kurt Busch was the only driver in the field that had raced and won at the original Homestead-Miami Speedway, and I thought, that's not actually true. Nothing slamming the NASCAR broadcast team. I guess if you look at NASCAR Cup Series, Kurt Busch did win at what they thought the original track was, but prior to 1997, the Homestead-Miami Oval was actually quite a bit different. This is the original layout to Homestead-Miami Speedway. Built in 1995, it was known as the Mini Indy, and it really was a mile-and-a-half version of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with 4 distinct corners and little short chutes between them. The reason this is not as remembered these days is the track was only in this configuration for about 2.5 years from 1995 into 1997 and was reconfigured there to the flat oval shortly after. Ultimately, this configuration was deemed way too dangerous. Just the entry angle on the corners and the concrete walls. Remember, this is pre-safer barriers, so the angle that the cars would come into the corners was just too severe. And unfortunately, there was a fatality with Joe Nemechek's younger brother, crashing during the Truck Series race here in March 1997. So not remembered too fondly and forgotten for good reason, but it is a really interesting layout. There's not many tracks that have been built like this. Ontario Speedway in California and Indianapolis are really the only two that come to my mind. So thinking about all of this, I remembered this track was actually released for NASCAR 2003, made by Riviera 71 and John Franklin, who's now on the Project Short Track team. And it's a really nice recreation of the circuit. So I thought I'd take my favorite guilty pleasure and race some of the Indycars around Homestead 96 and NASCAR 2003.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
All right, so we'll roll out of the pits. 40-lap race here in the NR2003 mod for NASCAR 2003. I mentioned this as a little bit of a guilty pleasure. It's definitely not the most accurate thing that's out there for IndyCar driving. Obviously, something like iRacing or a lot of the sims these days have IndyCars in them, but nothing quite allows you to race AI like NASCAR 2003 does, especially on an oval. And so I always start this up and try it out, have a good fun with it. But the cars, they race pretty good around here. I've got a different set of physics on them from the default stuff, so they behave a little more like an IndyCar, but a little more slidey or soft suspension than a real IndyCar. So should be fun. 40 laps. We'll probably have to pit, or we will have to pit about halfway through the race. If everything stays green the whole way, but pace car peels off, starting in about 10th position, I believe, alongside Helio Castroneves here. All right, green flag is out. Got a little bit of a late start there, but we'll rifle up the gears. Oh, Jared Hildebrand able to get around me there, but big gap behind him. Come through turn 1, just try to find the line, don't slide into the wall. Making it through 1 and 2 now, working on Hildebrand on the low side. We'll have to use mainly 5th and 6th gear here, see if I can throw it on the inside of turn 3. Able to get down there, but he's able to carry more speed out of it. 2x2 here is not easy. Definitely wouldn't be possible most of the time on the real circuit. All right, come down into turn 1 again. This might shift down to 5th. Run a little out wide. I think I got Zach Veach leading onto me there. Pulling behind Elio here on the high side of Hildebrand, but it's going to be difficult to get through turn 3 on the high side. But able able to make it stick. Of course, in this, you're not going to get the aero push and things that you would get in real life. The aero itself is still much what a NASCAR would have for aero, but just cranked up a bit. So, interesting lines and things you can take, but it's a lot of fun. Oh, two in front going to run wide. Scott Dixon, Elio. So I can keep it down the low side by side down the back straightaway. Into turn 3. It's a bit hard to get that braking. You almost throw the car in like you're driving a sprint car or something. But able to beat Elio to the line there. We're still side by side. Luckily with this newer version of the mod, they were able to get the mirrors working, as I think Simon Pagenaud up there hit the wall coming out of turn 1. Backed up everybody in front a little bit. I'll take advantage of that. But they've been working on this mod, the NASCAR Fun Facts group, as it's called, the NRF group, for a few years. There's, I think, a 2018, 2019, and this is the 2020 version. And each year, it's getting a bit better. It's obviously not visually as impressive as an Assetto Corsa or Automobilista 2 or something, but it's for a really old sim, and I think it's doing Indycars quite well. Had to back off there on the exit. Colton Herta in front of me here. Back off going into the corner. You can get a really nice rhythm around this circuit when you're racing alone, but racing with others, it's a really tricky track. It's so narrow, just with the square corners, and you can see why it wasn't very safe with the walls just being almost at a 90-degree angle as you enter the turn. Indy's just big enough where that, it's still obviously a really big safety issue, but it's big enough where the corners can be a bit wider and a bit longer to prevent, a car from literally just going straight into the wall. And like I said, no safer barriers back in 1995. Alright, just about as quick as Colton Herta here. I've got the cars tuned to be very competitive, or maybe a little quicker than me down the straightaways. They seem to be a bit quicker getting into the corner, but they take the line away. We've got Ferrucci up here on the outside. Of course, he just made his Xfinity start. Did okay for a handful of laps at the start of it, but I don't know what you could expect without practice. Almost had Herta there on the low side. Understeering a bit. There we go. Get a nice run on Herta through the short chute. Try to maximize the exit. Can't get that throttle down. I was going to slide up into him. He gets a good run on Dixon, though. Not able to make it work. Nice run now on Herta. Try to flat on the low side. Got a shift miss straight away. Try to just bury it in turn 3. But he's able to get that speed around the outside. Maybe I should try the outside. Nope, got a nice run on the inside now. Side by side down the straightaway. If I can keep it here, though, should be able to get the line into 1. Gonna slide up. I had to really get out of it there not to run into him. Trust me, I've done that. It'll send you flying. Not sure if this will be fun to watch or frustrating, but it's a lot of fun to drive, I'll tell you. Cars are quite a bit slower than the real-world kart cars. I mean, that's true for Indycars now in general, but I think the pole speed here at this version of the circuit for kart was something like 180 or 198 miles an hour. I'm doing laps at 150, 160. It's just crazy how fast those machines were. A lot of different variables at play here, but still gives you an impression of just how fast those cars were. Nice run now. Got that slipstream from the car in front too. Try to leave it a bit wider on entry. Oh, we touch. Sliding the car. Oh, somehow able to save it. Herta slapped the wall slightly. I got Elio now right behind me. I think I got away with that one somehow. Tried a few races here, and they often end with a move like that. All right, just gather it back up. I think I'm definitely quicker than Herta here. Oh, almost hitting the wall there on the exit. Of course, no tools or anything in the car either, like weight jackers or roll bars or anything. Pretty bare bones driving. All right, got a nice run now. Feel like I end up in a similar spot lap after lap, coming to the corner. Able to hold it a little bit. Try to get on that throttle nice and early. Finally able to get around Herta there. Try to keep it coming into turn one. It'll look high, but I should have it now. Just touch that apron. And just right up now to Scott Dixon. We're already on lap 14, so pit stop's not too far away. Hopefully everybody doesn't pit all at once, so I can at least get somewhat of a clean pit lane. Three in a row here, though. Oh, I try to get under Scott Dixon here, coming into turn two. Surprised myself there with turn one. Really took the apron coming out of the turn, but seems to be holding. He had a really slow exit as well. We're both losing on Ferrucci in front. Try to carry the speed out of four again. But Dixon's able to hold on. All clear. So in line with them. Just need to watch out for the cars. You'll peel off here coming into turn three like you would for most Indy races. Take that warm-up lane into the pits. So just need to watch for any car fading low. Don't want to be on the low side when they try to go into the pits. Oh, but a train once again behind Ferrucci. Maybe I'll stick with him this time. Oh, he gets squeezed out by Ferrucci. Oh, I'm going to run wide though. Have to get way out of it. Just look at my mirror too. I got Herta all over the rear. Nowhere to go with these two in front side by side. You would not race side by side around this circuit in real life. I think it was a one groove track overall. Ferrucci got held up though. Able to get below him. Able to get below Dixon. Come down to turn one or three wide there for a minute. All clear. Oh, all right, finally getting around Ferrucci. Let's see if I can work on Dixon, hoping the pit stop can go well. You gave me a spot or two as well. Hope it stays green too through the pit stops. Oh, Dixon runs a little wide through two. Oh, and I can see some cars going low. Dixon's gonna pit. I'm gonna stay out for a lap at least. Still on lap 19, so I'm not even sure they'll be able to make it to the end pitting right now. It'll be very close. across the line. P5 though. We'll see. I expect this group in front to peel off on this lap as well. Stay out for one more if I can. Maybe a mistake, hopefully not. Hopefully I can make it around one more lap. We should get a lap led at least out of this, which is good for points if I was in a championship. Ooh, almost gonna run wide. The tires wear out a bit too. All right, so we gotta pit this time. I'm sure I'm almost out of fuel. We'll slow it down coming off the circuit. Don't want to slide back onto the track. Come around the short chute up on the inside. Just gotta watch the speed as we get to the pit lane. 50 miles an hour, maybe slower than it would be for Indycar. We'll just look for the pit stall. I'm driving for dragon speed while cars pulling out too. Gonna make it difficult. Should be up closer towards the front. Able to avoid all the chaos, I guess. Here's the crew. And this is one of the funnier parts, I guess, is that they're going to change it like a NASCAR, but you can't fix everything. I think overall, NASCAR 2003, it's obviously not a sim that's made to have other types of cars in it, but I'm having a lot of fun with this. At least as an IndyCar fan, it's something to enjoy.
All the way to the last line. Your road speed 50, 3500.
All right, come out of the pits. Just try to get that throttle down as soon as I can. There's Joey New going by, so I bet that's the leader. He's got Sato behind him, probably. Or maybe Ray Hall. Come through the second turn. It's so tight on the apron. There goes Will Power. Scott Dixon. All right, so kind of right where I was, I think. Slide up behind Ryan Hunter-Reay. Got a clean slot. Might have gained a couple positions out of that, actually. We'll see. Oh, it's nice and clear, too, that the windscreen has been cleared up. Pulling in really fast on Hunter-Reay. Got those golden lap tires. Up to P6 now, so gained a lot of spots in the pit cycle. Take what you can get. Alright, so try to come up on the low side of Hunter-Reay here. Oh, a little too far back coming into the corner. Oh, he gives it to me. The passive Hunter-Reay lets me up the inside. He's still hanging out there, though. Oh, he's got a lot of speed down the straightaway. Maybe that slipstream from the two in front. Seems like we're both gaining on Will Power and Scott Dixon there. Oh, trying to pick the lane. Nowhere to go, really. Save the heroics for the final couple of laps if I need them. There he goes. He slides out wide. See if I can take advantage of it. Up the inside. Able to get on the throttle pretty soon. All right, so should be in the top 5 now. Stuck in behind Scott Dixon. He's got Will Power right in front of him. This is the Indy 500 version of the car set and everything, so Will Power's got that awesome black 5G car. Got a good run now on Dixon. To do it this time. Oh, he gets held up. Oh, I had to really get on the brakes there. Expected him to cut in front of me, but it seems like Power might be holding both of us up. Got a little bit of a run coming out of turn 4. It's funny, in other sims that I've played with the modern aero screen IndyCar, middle divider, part of the halo there, always bugs me, but I kind of forget about it in this. I don't know if it's just the way it was modeled or the fact that I'm having a lot of fun, but even in F1 2020, I'll shut that off. But here we go, got a run on Dixon. But he's got that slipstream, so he's able to keep in front of me on the straightaway. He's got Hunter Ray thinking about it again behind me. There we go. So on the low side now as we'll head down to turn 3. Oh, just get the wheels on the curbing on the inside, not able to keep the speed up. I slowed down way too much there. But nice run again. We'll come down, try it again in turn 1.
Still there.
Just trying to thread the needle here.
Clear high.
It's like the old IRL again. Even at the old version, the mega old version of Homestead. But now, as far up as I've been on Dixon, side by side still, try to get as close as I can to get the apex there. Oh, he still has me. Dixon's not a champion for nothing. He's able to get back around me somehow. Once again on the low side, it's becoming processional almost. Back out of it here. I need to build up a run maybe. Oof. Not worried about Hunter Ray again behind me. He'll stick his nose in there. Ended a couple races that way. Dixon thought about going low. I was going to try to go high on him. Try to sweep it out real wide, cut down on the exit. Get on the throttle a bit late. See if I can get on the high side of him. I don't know. Try something different. We'll try to squeeze him down. Got alongside of him. There we go. Coming out of turn 4. Should have the run now. Seems like the high side's actually a little bit better. Probably folks screaming at me in the comments to do the high side. There shouldn't be a high side around the track, I wouldn't think, but whatever works. Oh, a little bit bad there through the second corner, but able to get Dixon now up to 4th place. Just 9 laps to go. It's flying by. Oh, slide it underneath willpower there. To clear him too before the first corner, but gonna run a bit wide. I didn't get the apex. Oh my god, right up to the wall. He's gonna look back low on me. We're coming up on Charlie Kimball, of course. Able to hold him back. Man, a game from 2003 that was only designed to have NASCARs. I'm smiling. It's so much fun racing. I mean, I know there's a lot of folks out there that just don't get the oval racing. Get by Kimball pretty easy here, and I don't mind that. If you didn't grow up with it, it's totally understandable that you wouldn't get it. And some might think it's ridiculous to race this when you've got more modern sims to race, but if you really like IndyCar oval racing, something like this is just irreplaceable. The frustration it took me to get the AI set up at Michigan for that kart video I did versus this, which took all of 10 minutes to get this good, just keeps me coming back for years. We'll come to the line. All right, I'm in P3, got 6 laps to go. I think I got both of the leaders right in front of me here. Seems like my car is coming on late. Ooh, almost understeered into the wall there. And it's funny, I didn't know whether or not to choose the high-speed aero kit like I have on the Indianapolis, aero for these cars, or the road course short oval type. I think these days, if IndyCar was to come to this track, they might race with the short track oval setup. I don't know, actually. It's back when kart raced here, they raced with the high-speed super speedway aero as well. But this track, in speed, kind of reminds me of Gateway, which they used the short track kit for. So it'd be interesting if, if this track existed anymore. But yeah, got a run here now on Ray Hall. It is number 15 in front. So we've caught right up to him thanks to that slipstream. Coming to 4 to go at the line. Got a nice run though. He's going to fade low. Maybe I can go high on him. Don't squeeze me, Ray Hall. He's one liable to push the limit a bit. Outbroke him into the corner. Here we go. Get that apex for the second part. He'll suffer the aero wash behind me. So working now on Joseph Newgarden. Just a few laps to go.
Keep digging.
Yeah, I'll keep digging, all right. Ooh. Took that apex a little too sharp. Missed the second one too. It's surprisingly hard to get the car in the right spot. Even though it doesn't quite drive like a real Indy car, it's not easy by any stretch. Getting it slowed down, the shifts are kind of odd. Very slow compared to an actual race car shift these days. But yeah, catching on Joey. Try to bring Dragon speed back from the dead here. Oh man, it's gonna come down to the last lap, isn't it? I swear I'm not planning this. Trying to see what I can do to get around him. Need to try to maximize the run here coming out of turn 4. Here we go. Come to the line, take the white flag, side by side, fans on their feet.
Still there. One more time, buddy. One more time. Great.
Come down into turn 1. Oh,
Nice. Smooth.
there we go. Oh, I gotta rush. Wash out to the outside, but able to get around Newgarden, pushed him right to the wall. Now just need to get into turns 3 and 4, nice and smooth. A little bit faster than I have been doing it there, but car sticks. Now just turn 4, come around and win. I didn't think I was gonna win, but I'll take one. There we go. The original Homestead-Miami Speedway circa 1995, 1996. Really cool track overall. Great race with the AI too. It might not be the most realistic. We're, probably 20 miles an hour off what Indycars would actually be doing around here today, but so much fun to race in NASCAR 2003. So nothing like a little IndyCar racing to make you smile from ear to ear. It was really fun, actually. I'm very surprised at how well that race went. But yeah, this track is really cool. It's a shame they had to change it from the original configuration, but it's totally understandable. It was a really dangerous track to begin with, but at least what it's turned into today is a really great track in general too. And IndyCar should go back there. I think IndyCar at the modern Homestead-Miami track would be great. They did race there with the IRL in the early 2000s and late 90s anyway, or I guess into the 2000s with IRL, and those were great races overall. I think they would still put on a heck of a show there, and we need more ovals in IndyCar racing. So thanks for watching. I hope this was enjoyable or opened your mind up to what Homestead used to be like. So I'll see you all again next time.